So yesterday there was big news that came through that Mexican authorities have caught Joaquin Guzman Loera, better known as El Chapo. This guy is the head of the Sinaloa cartel, which is one of Mexico's most powerful drug cartels, and significantly he's the only person since Al Capone to have been called public enemy number one by the Chicago PD. So he's a very powerful individual, and some have called him actually the most influential drug lord of all time. So the significance of this capture can't be underestimated. It certainly won't mean that Mexico's bloody drug war will end, but nevertheless it's significant. But I just want to make a few points about El Chapo and his kind. You know, when you look a lot online, you see these sort of guys with sort of a bizarre, almost a personality cult around them, and a lot of people online disturbingly treat them as sort of heroes, as Robin Hood type figures taking on the authorities. I think that's very delusional. Drug lords destroy countless lives. They're fundamentally evil men, and I don't mind using that word in this context. And El Chapo was the personification of everything that is wrong with drug lords. This man was a ruthless killer. But more to the point, if you're thinking, you know, oh, he just killed other drug lords, other drug dealers and so on, that's to underestimate the impact that his crimes have had on Mexico. Because this drug war hasn't just impacted drug cartels. There's been scores of Mexicans, innocent people, who've died in the crossfire. And many brave Mexicans, whether they be journalists or small-town mayors, have died as a result of standing up to these thugs. So let's stop pretending that the likes of El Chapo are some sort of Robin Hood type figures. They are absolutely not. Now, I know people will reply, oh, you know, both the US government and the Mexican government have collaborated with these drug cartels at times. That may be true, but that doesn't change the character of someone like El Chapo. And his capture is undoubtedly a good thing. Will the drug war end? No, probably not. Will violence continue? Probably yes. Nevertheless, it will weaken the Sinaloa cartel, and given that they're one of the biggest cartels, that is bound to be some progress in reducing the scale of violence in this drug war. And I know there's an argument to be made that well, if you legalise all drugs, there wouldn't be this demand. It wouldn't go to these criminal elements, and Mexico wouldn't be in the state it's in today. It's wide to believe the drug war, in its most broad sense, has failed. But what I'm talking about is not the rights and wrongs of the drug war as a philosophy, as a doctrine. What I'm talking about is the character of people like El Chapo. And I believe a lot of the people that apparently respect him do so purely out of fear. Mexico's a country that, just like Colombia in the 80s, Mexico in the 2010s, is a country that has been plagued by drug violence, and the Mexican people are paying the price. Really, drug lords, in my opinion, are no better than the Taliban in terms of their moral standing. They're evil people. So let's just stop pretending that they're Robin Hood type figures, because they're really, really not. And let's not forget that a lot of innocent people have died in the crossfire of the turf wars between these drug cartels. So as far as I'm concerned, if this scumbag spends the rest of his days behind bars, that's a good thing. I do think he should be extradited to the States. I know there's an argument at the moment, but the Mexicans, frankly, their prisons are not secure enough. This guy's escaped before, and someone of this prominence, they shouldn't take any risk. I do think he should be extradited to America, because his crimes have extended over the border. Chicago has paid the price for a lot of his crimes. So just to brief conclusion, this video is not about the rights and wrongs of the drug war, and I'm not saying here the Mexican government are the good guys. I'm sure they've got blood on their hands as well. But I just resent when someone like El Chapo is made out to be some sort of hero. He's nothing of the sort. I mean, you just look at you just have to look at drug cartel bosses, the sort of luxury they lead from the profits of violence, often through intimidation tactics. I mean, they're terrorists basically. They terrorize low-level farmers who can't defend themselves. These people are scumbags. They deserve no sort of accolades whatsoever. I mean, some people are saying this guy may have outranked Pablo Escobar as the most powerful drug lord in history. So let's not underestimate the power of this guy. And yeah, it's good news that he's been caught. And I sincerely hope he spends the rest of his days behind bars. In an ideal world, every single head of every single cartel would be behind bars, but let's just hope that it brings Mexico in the right direction. I can't say that it will, but let's just hope it does, because Mexico is a country that has suffered enough from this.